Leo's Last Watch. The streets of Mandalay were alive with their usual morning symphony, the rhythmic chime of bicycle bells, the chatter of market vendors, and the scent of fresh tea leaves brewing in roadside stalls. Thandar stepped out of her small home, stretching in the golden morning sun. Beside her, a golden retriever named Leo wagged his tail eagerly, his bright eyes full of life. All right, we'll go." Thandar laughed as Leo danced around her, nudging her hand with his wet nose. Morning walks were their tradition. Every day, Thandar and Leo strolled through the marketplace, where the vendors greeted them like family. Leo was a local favorite. Children giggled as they stroked his soft fur, and the butcher always slipped him a small piece of meat. Thandar would tease him, saying, "One day they'll start charging you for breakfast, Leo." But no matter where they went, Leo never let Thandar out of his sight. He was more than just a pet. He was her guardian, her confidant, her silent protector. That afternoon the sky was a perfect blue, the sun casting warm, lazy beams through the windows of their home. Thandar was inside, slicing vegetables, humming an old lullaby. Leo lay stretched out in the yard, basking in the sun, his ears twitching as the distant sounds of the city lulled him into a light doze. Then, at exactly 12:51 p.m., the world exploded. The ground roared as if a giant had awakened beneath it. The sky turned to dust. Buildings groaned and collapsed like houses of cards. The air filled with terrified screams as people ran in every direction, their faces twisted in shock and fear. Leo's eyes snapped open. His ears flattened against his head as the earth shook violently, tossing bricks and wood into the air. A terrible crack split the sky, and in an instant, their small home was gone, reduced to rubble and dust. Thandar. Leo lunged forward, his heart pounding. He dug through the broken bricks and shattered wood, his paws bleeding as he clawed at the debris. His breath came in frantic gasps as he sniffed the air, searching, praying for her scent. And then he found her. A pale hand stretched out from the wreckage, motionless. Thandar's fingers were still curled, as if she had been reaching for him in those final moments. Leo whimpered and pressed his nose against her skin, licking her hand, nudging her gently, begging her to wake up. But she didn't move. The warmth had already begun to fade from her fingers. A deep, agonizing howl tore from Leo's throat, a cry so raw, so full of heartbreak, that even the dust-covered survivors nearby paused in their grief to listen. But Leo didn't move. He couldn't. He lay beside her, his paw resting gently over her hand, his body shielding her like he always had. Time passed, but he stayed. Even as the rescue workers arrived, even as they gently tried to pull him away, Leo refused to leave her side. The sun began to set, casting the city in hues of orange and purple, as if the sky itself was mourning. The rescuers murmured in hushed voices as they watched the golden retriever who would not abandon his owner. He had spent his life protecting her, and even in death, Leo would not leave her side.